I love that the city of Hamilton is evolving with more culture, and with that, you're gonna find yourself some cool new sushi places. And we're gonna go in and we're gonna check out a place that will give you a great, comfortable maki roll, but in addition, they've got some amazing, really different things coming from the kitchen, right here at Paper Crane. Behind the scenes, right here with Drew. Bud, I am so excited to be here.
It's such a pleasure.
Thank you, pleasure is mine. Now, you guys are doing sushi here, but you guys are doing sushi here different.
We are.
What are you guys doing different?
So we're not like an all-you-can-eat sushi kind of place.
Okay.
We do omakase is sort of our like premier.
So what is omakase?
So omakase essentially means chef's choice.
See, this is my jam right here for sure.
So it's different every night. It's based around the freshness of ingredients that we can get.
Okay, so
on a daily
freshest,
basis.
Things are changing on a daily basis, and it's up to the kitchen to decide what's coming out?
It's chef's choice. So even when you sit down at the table and we ask you if you'd like to do omakase this evening, we don't tell you what's coming.
Oh,
because we don't
I
even
love it.
really know. It's the chef's choice. So our chef will surprise us with the courses as they come out.
A true adventure when it comes to dining.
It really is. It really is.
That's
which
awesome.
is really fun. Yeah.
So show me what you're going to be making.
Perfect.
Show me some omakase.
So we have, I'll do our albacore, our fresh albacore in ponzu sauce, which is our sort of signature dish.
Beautiful.
So albacore tuna is wild caught. It's off the coast of BC, and it is extremely tender, extremely fresh. We put several sauces on it. So we begin with a daikon radish and chili sauce.
The radish having that sort of little bit of a peppery style feel to it, but a tiny little bit of heat. They're white tuna as well. It's not your typical sort of like pink or red flesh tuna. Absolutely gorgeous, very buttery.
And then next we had ponzu sauce. It's made with soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, sake, which who can argue with sake, and a lot of Japanese citrus. And it combines with the daikon and the chili from the first sauce that just really open up the flesh of the fish and make it just tender and delicious. And you also get like a bit of a sear almost on it, like a ceviche style sear from the citrus. Yeah.
And you're gonna have this sake in there, which is not traditional, by the way. Very cool. I like that nice little fun element that you have going on.
It's really playful and it's super flavorful. So then next we finish with a bit of scallion and crimson chili.
Why would you use crimson chili, say, instead of a jalapeno?
Jalapenos have a lot of heat in the seeds,
right?
And the flesh is very thick, and it's a very distinct flavor. With the crimson chili, you get sort of a subtle heat that sort of falls off. It doesn't have it doesn't linger with you.
Okay.
So you get that sort of punch, and then the edge sort of falls off after.
Good balance, I would assume, with something nice and light and simple flavor.
Absolutely, Dan, and it plays super well with citrus. But it's also finished with a bit of what every Japanese dish should be finished with, is toasted sesame.
So I love the simplicity of this, which is why I really enjoy sushi, because it's all about fresh flavors, but combination of flavors. And I can smell the chilies sitting on the surface, which is really cool because it's not overpowering. And then this gorgeous sort of aromatic blanket of this ponzu sauce. Really, really very cool.
Definitely.
All right.
They really play well together.
So that hit me 3 different ways, all at the same time. First and foremost, that tuna is butter. It is melt in your mouth. I don't know whether I've had fish that tender before. The chili is there. It's not super spicy, and it has this kind of, it's a little bit of a sharp punch, but it's not overpowering. And that ponzu is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's something else.
So nice.
So the next dish that we're going to do is Kobe beef.
Yes.
And who can argue with the best beef in the world?
Yes, I love this.
These cows live better than we do.
They do.
They're massaged constantly. They drink sake and beer. That's why they're so delicious.
So how are you going to make beef sushi?
So we're preparing it nigiri style, which is sushi style, which is rice underneath with the beef on top.
Perfect.
And we also do it tatake style.
Okay.
Tatake is fire roasted, essentially. So you sear it, but yet it still retains that very rare, delicious flavor on the inside.
It really brought out the marbling the moment the blowtorch hit it.
The fat just completely melts as soon as the blowtorch hits it. And then it's served on top of sushi rice.
Okay.
And then we finish it with a bit of our Malden salt and teriyaki sauce with scallion.
Now, you do this with your beef, but you do tataki with seafood as well,
We
right?
also do, yeah, we do a salmon tataki that is...
Can I have one of those too?
Of course you can. Are you
Okay.
kidding me?
Yes.
I would have it no other way. So we do the salmon cooked with Japanese seasoning. It's a Japanese spice that is nori with toasted sesame and a few other spices as well.
Now, when you're giving this torch, do you do it on a certain side first? Does it matter? Or are you just really trying to sear the little bit of the seasoning on the outside and just gently cook the fish?
You do. So what you're looking for is two different textures.
Okay.
Essentially with tataki, you want to retain that center, which is the sushi center,
Right.
which is the raw fish. And then the other side, you also want to attain sort of a cooked side. You get two textures. And also the flames give it a bit of a smokiness.
Wow, look at that.
So see how it cuts through? You get that cooked outside, and then this absolutely wonderful sushi center remains.
Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is with the sear on the outside, the little bit of nori, and then the gorgeous sort of raw.
Absolutely, that's what you're after with sushi.
Beautiful.
And then we finish it with a cilantro vinaigrette.
So is this done? Is this ready to go?
It's a complete dish now. There is no need for accoutrement.
Okay.
It's like salt and pepper on a table.
I see.
It doesn't need to be seasoned. It's already seasoned by the chef.
So I'm going to go with the salmon first.
You should.
You weren't kidding.
No.
It really does give two completely different textures.
Yeah.
That sear with all of the spice that you have on the top, knowing that it's been hit with the blowtorch, which I'm now getting a little bit of that smoke in that finish.
Yeah.
Works really well. The buttery center is just to die for. Right in here where it hasn't been hit with the blowtorch. The cilantro is actually mild, which is really nice because it can be very overpowering, and it really balanced all of this out with everything that you have going on, because everything is sort of a perfect kiss. It's got all of the flavors in there.
Absolutely.
And now here's what I've been waiting for. This guy right here. I like that you put a little bit of the sort of crystal Malden salt
Yeah, the
on the
Malden
top.
sea salt.
That is to die for.
Yeah.
I would like to have 65 more pieces, please.
You can have
That
one
is
more.
unbelievable. I got to tell you, with everything that we've had here so far, I can't wait to come back and take my hands off the wheel, let Paper Crane, let the kitchen just give me this omakase, which is incredible, chef's choice, great flavors, and a dining experience. It's genuinely a journey through flavors based on what's coming from the kitchen. This is unbelievable,
So
Drew.
much fun, eh?
Thank you
So much fun.
so much.
Thank you.
This is Paper Crane, Hamilton Eats. Come check this place out. Right here in my home community of Haldimand County is a new and exciting place that does something so unique that there's only 2 places in the country that do this. We're going to go in and we're going to meet Shola right here at My Sweet Sweet World, where they make chocolate. This is really, really exciting. Shola, I am so happy to be here. This
Thank
is
you so
something
much.
so new for me. So new for me. So we are here in the room where Shola gets his chocolate. Now I'd like to make something clear. So Shola, you're not a chocolatier, right?
No, I'm not a chocolatier. I'm a chocolate maker.
What's the difference between a chocolate maker and a chocolatier?
Well, simple. A chocolate maker makes chocolates. A chocolatier takes chocolates and makes desserts with chocolates.
So if I wanted to buy like truffles or candies and things like that, I'm going to go to a chocolatier.
Yes, and a chocolate maker can also be a chocolatier. They can also make those things.
I see.
But right here in our micro facility, we focus on taking the cocoa beans and turning them into top-notch, high-quality, pure chocolates. That's it.
That's so exciting.
Keep it focused.
Straight chocolate.
Yes.
Let the chocolate turn into something else afterwards.
Exactly.
Okay, so what do we have here?
Right here we have cocoa beans. So these are Nigerian origin cocoa beans. As far as I know, there are 2 chocolate makers in Canada that bring in African origin cocoa beans, and I'm the only one that brings in cocoa beans from Nigeria. So I'm very proud to bring these beans from my maternal hometown. These are amazing chocolate cocoa beans, and this is the first step, guys. We take the cocoa beans and we roast them, and eventually they turn into chocolates.
Well, let's go roast some chocolate.
Now, every chocolate maker has their own trade secrets to roasting cocoa beans. You can roast it for up to half an hour, up to, about 15 minutes, depending on how hot you want to make the machine. And you have to play with the cocoa beans and see how they respond to your roasting profile. So these cocoa beans have been roasted.
Wow, look at that.
This is what you want. This is a crown jewel. That's
the
pure,
money right there.
That's chocolate right there.
Can I eat this?
You can eat that. You can eat that. That's roasted cocoa bean.
Oh. That is so smooth. It's nutty. It's a little bit bitter, but there's no sweeteners in this yet. That is unbelievable. I could eat handfuls of that on my own.
And you can. Actually, cocoa nibs, which is just broken chocolate pieces, are very good. If you want to sprinkle them on the parfait, on your yogurt, add them to smoothies. These are very healthy and these are very good.
Amazing. So from here, what's the next step?
So the next step is to winnow the chocolate. Winnowing is a process of cracking the beans.
Yeah.
And you take them to a special device that I constructed, and it separates the shafts from the bean. You have the cocoa beans, the roasted cocoa beans, they go in here. It has to be a food-safe device, and it goes down where it's cracked into nibs, like I showed you. And we have a cement mixer that helps us with the rotation.
That makes sense.
And it comes down slowly through a 45-degree angle, and it's met with suction. So this is connected to a shop vac.
Okay.
And the idea is for the shafts to get sucked up and the heavy nibs to fall down.
That's amazing.
So now that we've winnowed the cocoa beans, the next and very crucial step is to grind them. These would usually grind from 24 to 48 hours.
Oh, wow, a long time to grind.
So I actually grind mine for about 3 days because I want to give it that silky smooth consistency.
Okay. This is an interesting grinder. I've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah, it's a stone grinder. And the idea is you just have the stone rollers in there, and you want to slowly introduce the nibs to the grinder. Now you are bringing out the cocoa butters. You're actually changing, the flavor of the chocolate by doing this, right? Because for 3 days it's going to be subjected to this. It's going to maintain a constant temperature, and it's just going to keep grinding, and it's going to eventually have that silky smooth consistency. So the next step would be to take the chocolate out of this bowl, into this bowl, and we'll begin the tempering process.
Now, as you're doing this, why don't you explain to me what tempering means? Because, tempering is all about control of the heat source, right?
Yes, so tempering chocolates is, I like to explain it it's like freezing water, but for chocolates, you are kind of freezing it at room temperature. That's how I'd like to explain it, right?
Okay.
So chocolate has different beta crystals, and what you want to do is you want to lock in the chocolate at a specific beta crystal where it has a nice shine. Mm-hmm. It has a crispy feel to it when you break it. It looks presentable, it looks nice, and the sugar, the milk, and the chocolate itself are all, locked in a beautiful unison.
That's amazing.
A beautiful bar.
There's so much science behind this.
There's a lot of science behind it, and there are so many ways to temper chocolate. You have to find one that works for you, that works for your industry, that's,
Right.
The chocolate comes out nice, and at the same time, you can do it in a timely fashion.
Look at the consistency of this, and this is what you would say is where you prefer your chocolate to be in preparation for tempering.
Yes. So now I'm going to add what's called the seeding butter. This is perfectly tempered cocoa butter, and I'm introducing about 1% of the total weight of the chocolates in seeding butter.
And this is that component that you said creates the game of follow the leader. So this butter is tempered, that goes in, and it makes the rest of the chocolate follow its lead by tempering the rest of it, which will keep it from separating or potentially seizing or things like that, right?
Yeah, it keeps it from blooming.
Blooming.
Yeah.
What's blooming? What does that mean when your chocolate blooms?
So chocolate is actually made, you have the cocoa butter, and you have water-soluble substances, milk and sugar.
Right.
And part of the grinding is you are breaking down the sugar and the milk to such tiny microns that the human taste buds can't feel anything, right? So when your chocolate is out of temper or when it blooms, what basically happens is the sugar and the milk separate from the butter.
Right.
So when you look at it, it almost looks moldy. It's not moldy. It's actually still good. You can melt it and eat it, but
it's not ideal.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look nice.
So is that sort of, sometimes you see that chalky film that comes on chocolate? Does that mean it has bloomed?
Yes. Well, the next step is to add it to your molds. So right now the chocolate is in a beautiful liquid state,
right?
And this is the perfect time to mold your chocolate into anything. Because I have the world map as my, as my logo, as part of my identifying features. I have these world map molds, which I enjoy using.
Adding in hazelnuts.
Yep. So I'm adding hazelnuts to my hazelnut coffee. When I moved here, I noticed a lot of love and support from local community, and I've been really passionate about doing the same. And I discovered a new coffee roaster in Norfolk, and I started using their coffee, and it's been amazing. I get fresh roasted coffee, and it goes right in the chocolate, and you can't taste the difference. Everything has been mixed in, and we have to hand pour them. You want to add about 100 grams each one.
I love how precise you are with everything, making sure that every bar is weighed out exactly the same, every step is done exactly the same. Your attention to detail with the tempering and removing the shafts from the roasted cocoa beans. This process is unbelievable. I have so much to learn. Oh, and of course you need to garnish it with a little bit of crushed hazelnuts on top.
Of course, you need to remind people what's in here.
That is phenomenal. Now at this point, you take it and do you cool it? Does it cool at room temperature?
No, so right now I'm going to put this in my cooling unit, and I want the chocolate to set, which means it goes in at about 10 degrees, and we let it sit for about half an hour till it becomes solid chocolate.
That's amazing. After all of this time of you showing me how to make this incredible chocolate, please, can I have some?
Absolutely. Grab a bar, grab any bar you want.
Okay, so with the hazelnut coffee has been teasing me and taunting me for the last hour, I have to have one of these. So this is, and I have to tell you, your packaging is outstanding. It is so elegant, it makes me want to eat the chocolate. It is unbelievable. And I notice here, it says kindness on the side. What does that mean? Can you tell me what that means?
Yeah, all my major bars, all my main bars have themes to them. So my milk chocolate is laughter, my strawberry infused chocolate is love, my matcha chocolate is peace, my dark chocolate is kindness, and yeah, so it's just a way of
That's snap.
That's tempered chocolate for you, yeah.
This tastes like kindness. The hazelnut is subtle. The coffee is just, it's there. There's no bitterness.
Absolutely
no
not.
bitterness whatsoever.
No.
After tasting the cocoa beans, the roasted ones,
Yeah.
it definitely had a little bit of a bitter flavor to it.
Yeah.
None of that is there anymore.
No.
All of it is completely gone, and all of that is just through the grinding.
Yeah, it's part of the magic.
I think you're my new best friend. So, unbelievable chocolate.
Thanks so much.
Shola, I can't even explain to you how grateful I am for showing me this process. You and I are going to have some conversations about some chocolate, because I know you make custom chocolate and stuff as well.
Yes.
You have to come into Hagersville, and you have to go to My Sweet, Sweet World right here in Haldimand County. Come say hi to Shola. This is a find of a lifetime. Please trust me. My name's Chef Dan, and this is Hamilton Eats. So if you find yourself in Haldimand County, make your way to downtown Hagersville. When you're looking for some good hometown comfort food with a bit of a twist, some great craft beer, and amazing service, you're gonna wanna make your way in and talk to Dave, the man in the kitchen, right here at Dinger's. Behind the scenes right here in the hot kitchen where I am most at home with Dave. Dave All, good to meet you,
Nice
man.
to meet you.
So what are you making for us today?
We're making buff sprouts.
Buff sprouts. Why don't you tell me what that is?
It is Brussels sprouts deep fried and tossed in wing sauce.
Okay, so a little play on buffalo wings, but vegetarian.
Yes.
Amazing. So show me what you got going on here.
Okay, so we are making the buff sauce here. We have Frank's and margarine.
Frank's, like classic,
Frank's
traditional,
Red Hot.
original Frank's Red Hot.
Yeah.
Oh man, I put that stuff on everything. So why margarine? What are you doing in here?
It just kind of makes it a little shinier, and
For sure.
it helps set it. And then, so once this is all melted in there, then we will add the butter in there.
So you got your hot sauce to start. Then we're going to put in margarine to sort of give it that nice sheen and sort of richen it up a little. And then you're going to finish it with butter.
with butter,
So-
cold butter.
Hot sauce, margarine, and more butter. Yeah, you're speaking my language here. You're speaking my language.
Super healthy.
Yeah. Well, you're going to add vegetables to it, so we're balancing things out.
Yes, deep fried vegetables.
There we go.
At that point.
So what are you looking for when you put your margarine and your hot sauce together?
We're just gonna, I guess, compound the butter. So that is good to go. We're just gonna add the butter in there now.
Beautiful. You can see it's already got this nice gloss to it by adding in that margarine. And you're not being shy here with the butter.
Absolutely
I can
not. A good 2 pounds of butter.
see 2 pounds of butter. Oh yeah, baby.
All right.
Now with all of this butter going in here, I notice you're putting this butter in cold.
Cold, yes.
So why don't you melt the butter first and put it in?
Because it'll separate.
Okay, so if you add in cold butter into your hot sauce, this is what we call mounting butter. So you're gonna, the classic French terminology is monte au beurre, but we in the North American kitchen say we're gonna mount it.
You're gonna mount it.
So you're gonna put your cold butter in, and I noticed you turned your heat off too, and that is a pro tip right there. Always turn your heat off while you're adding cold butter into a hot sauce. And do you whisk it for any period of time? What are you looking for?
I'm just waiting for all the butter to melt, and that's about it. And we're
Okay.
good to go. So now that the hot sauce is done, we're gonna prepare our Brussels sprouts. So I've trimmed them all. I've scored them, like cut the ends off and put an X in it so they cook more evenly.
That's a cool trick. I don't think I've seen that where you actually score them right through the middle. That's awesome.
Yeah, so then you don't have the hard centers. in the middle.
Nice.
So, yep, we're just gonna put them in here and cook them for 8 minutes.
8 minutes. So just boiling water. Do you season your water with anything?
I put a little bit of salt in there. So these are fully cooked, al dente. So now we're just gonna put them into an ice bath and shock them to stop the cooking process.
Using an ice bath versus cold water is necessary because even cold water will warm the water right back up, but the ice instantly stops them from cooking and retains this beautiful color. Like, look how vibrant those Brussels sprouts are. So what do you do next?
So now that they're all cool, we're going to bread them. So flour, egg wash, and breadcrumbs.
Okay. Now, for those of you who don't know, when you're breading anything, there is a reason why you have this 3-step process. When you coat something in flour first, it allows your whipped egg to have something to hold on to. So by putting it in the flour and then rolling it into your egg wash or your whipped egg, it gives a bit of a barrier for your flour and your eggs to hold on to. And then you can coat it in your breadcrumbs or whatever it might end up being in the end to really give it a nice coating.
So from here, we're going to put it into the fryer now.
Amazing. What temp do you have your fryer at?
355.
355. Perfect cooking temp.
We're good. They're golden brown. You pull these up, let them drain, put them into your bowl.
Oh yeah. There's that hot
You want
sauce.
lots of sauce?
You do it however you want, how you think I should do it. Now this is your hot sauce. Now if I didn't want something to be super hot, do I have the option?
Yes, this is hot, so we have also mild and medium. It's the exact same thing.
Different versions with different levels of
temperatures.
heat?
Yep.
Okay, and you serve this with, what sauce do you have on the
Blue
side?
cheese and carrots and celery.
Okay, well this is it.
Just like chicken wings.
This is my turn. So essentially, it's like a vegan, it's like a vegetarian chicken wing. This is great. Okay.
Careful.
Yeah, so right out of the fryer, excuse me, I'm sure these are gonna be wonderfully hot. I'm amazed at how crisp the Brussels sprouts are. You know, that blanch, that shock that you did there in the ice bath really brought that together, and that sauce. So adding that butter in the end gives the palate a nice sort of coating, so it really balances things out, but it does have some good heat to it. Not overpowering, and it works really well with like that earthy, sweet flavor of the Brussels sprouts. Coating is crisp. Man, these taste like eating way too many all in one shot. That's how good these
Absolutely.
are. Awesome. Dave, I can't thank you enough.
All right.
So happy to be here, checking out these beautiful buff sprouts right here at Dinger's. My name is Chef Dan, and this is Hamilton Eats.